You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots, you know, the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. In every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We want to chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And then we remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. You know, Josh, do I sound like I got a frog here or something, or what's the? It's I don't know. Something sounds kind of odd, but people say that I'm odd anyway. So, but any event, let's see what we're going to celebrate today. Today we are happy being anorexia, National Croissant Day. A little butter, a little jelly. Where do you get good croissants at? I'm not going to even talk about Bubble Wrap Day. Hey, let's look at the markets today. Dow Jones Industrial Average down 72 points. S&P 500 down 27 points. NASDAQ down 138 points. Oil down $1.17 a barrel. And if you wanted to know this was going to happen, all you have to do is call the Pelosi's. Yeah, they get advance notice. I was just looking at, or one of our private news services shared this with us last Thursday, I think it was. And being that I wasn't here Friday, I didn't share it with you. But think about this. According to the Washington Free Beacon, have you heard anything about the Department of Justice starting an inquiry into Google, that they're investigating Google? They started it and they announced their investigation in January. Did you hear about this? Did anybody share this with you? For some reason, nobody shared it with me. Now, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not on the top of this hit list, but maybe if I say this, I'll be on the top of the hit list. But nobody shared this with me. But apparently, the Pelosi's got wind of it. And looks like they sold about $3 million worth of Google stock at the end of December before it was announced that the DOJ was investigating them. Does that surprise you? Is that anybody surprised by that at all?
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Now, should we take it one step further? Since 2008, again, according to the Washington Free Beacon, the Pelosi's net worth has grown $140 million, all stock trades. All stock trades. And you wonder why she didn't want to allow a bill to come to the floor of the House of Representatives when she was the speaker, prohibiting members of the Congress from trading stocks or their spouses. Does that surprise anybody? $140 million in net worth gain. Did your net worth go up by $140 million since 2008? What is that? 15 years, if my math is right. $110 million a year gain in net worth. That's after expenses, being that it's gained in net worth. Just throw that out there for you. What else going on in the news? Hey, I heard this. I just heard this morning. Apparently, the San Francisco 49ers had to charter an extra plane coming back from Philadelphia yesterday. They needed a medevac plane to bring the rest of the players home. It's amazing that they had such a problem out there. Yeah, let's keep on moving on and see what else is going on in the world today. Should we look at gas prices? Do we want to look at gas prices? They've been going up. No, the president's not going to tell you that. But if you're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, I will tell you that because we are seeing that at the pump. Now, the national average gallon of gasoline, $3.51 a gallon of gasoline. Here in California, $4.55. Let's go around the horn. Here we go. Josh is over there at $3.98.5, up a little bit there, Josh. You're up by 3 cents a gallon from when we reported last week. Jody's over at $3.55 a gallon. Brittany's at $3.80. Why are all these people at threes and I'm in the fours? Brittany's at $3.84. And of course, Lori's over there at $3.25 a gallon. Our tremendous underwriter there in Louisiana, $3.25 a gallon of gasoline. Amazing that we don't get to see those things out here in the formerly Golden State. We're still paying the highest, well, maybe not the highest in the land. I'm going to have to go check. Hawaii's at $4.93 a gallon, so they're actually the highest in the land. We've got to be pretty close at $4.55. All about the taxes. Now think about this one. Do you remember, what was it, last year? We had something called an infrastructure bill. Yeah.
You know better than that.
They told us it was $1.7 trillion that the administration was going to spend on infrastructure. Well, they put that out of the general fund. Why are we still paying 18 cents a gallon on gasoline from going to the federal government if we've already been taxed in another area on it? Is that double taxation? I'm just throwing that out there, but 18 cents a gallon. I think in California, we're paying about 25% is our gas tax out here between taxes and fees and everything else they throw in there that they don't want us to know about. About 25%. Just amazing how much we continue to get taxed on all these things, and we continue to vote for the same exact people over and over again. But, you have a choice. I mentioned this last week that now we've got a budget deficit in California. Well, if we hadn't been sending out the bribes from the governor to the people of California last year, right before the elections, maybe they would have saved some of that money and we wouldn't be dealing with a budget deficit right now. But, you got to bribe people to to vote for you. My opinion, that's all that was a bribe. I don't want to get in trouble here, but that is my opinion of where that money is, what that money was used for. I'm just throwing that out there. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. Got a lot going on today. We're going to talk. We got a lot of reports. We've been doing quite a few broadcasts, and I'm going to get you a lot of reports today. And don't forget, on Wednesday, CPA and attorney Alton Moore is coming in, and we're going to talk about what happens when a loved one dies from a financial standpoint. I know there's all the grief and whatnot, but how do you deal with the trust? How do you deal with all of the finances that need to be handled once a loved one has passed? So we're going to talk about that one on Wednesday with Alton Moore. Why it makes sense to move before spring. We'll talk about that today. Applying for a mortgage. Here's what you need to know. Pre-approval in 2023, what you need to know about that one. And assuming responsibility for the marital mortgage. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you could retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is, you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit ronsiegelradio.com.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva, they've got the programs and the products. You need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. S&P 500 now down 27.18. And every day at this time, OBMMI, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, and timely analysis, interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. What did the rates do on Friday? 30-year conforming loan up a little bit at 6.151. The 30-year jumbo down a little bit at 6.062. The 30-year FHA up a little bit at 6.201. 30-year USDA was up a little bit at 6.072. That's generally no down payment in the rural neighborhoods. And the best loan on the market was up just a little bit. That's the VA loan, 5.93. That's for the veterans. You got to earn it. That's one that you cannot just want. You can't want that one. Some people want it. You can't just want it. You have to earn that one. And if you haven't taken advantage of it yet, don't forget that our friends at Geneva have this down payment assistance program, 100% financing, FICO scores as low as 600, single-family residences, condos, townhomes, PUD, duplexes, and manufactured double wide. Got to qualify, obviously, like every loan nowadays. But great program over at Geneva for those folks that don't have the money for a down payment, but want to get into the game. But hey, let's take a look and see why the rates are doing what they're doing. The 10-year Treasury's up 3 basis points, 3.55. The mortgage-backed securities are down 19 basis points, which means interest rates are up ever so slightly. And the big issue right here is both of those are getting closer and closer to hitting these very, very strong levels of support. So we're watching all of that very closely for you. The Federal Reserve is going to be meeting. They start tomorrow with their meeting. They'll come out with the results of the meeting on Wednesday. We anticipate a 25 basis point rate hike. That means that you'll see interest rates increase on the home equity lines of credit, on your 10-year treasuries. Those are all things that'll generally they follow the Fed funds rate. Prime rate, I'm sure, not on the 10-year treasuries, but on the prime rate. Prime rate follows the Fed funds rate, and the home equity lines of credit generally follow the prime rate. Now, mortgage-backed securities, they do not necessarily follow the Fed funds rate. In fact, in many instances, especially as we get closer and closer to the end of a recession, which we haven't even announced that we're in yet, but when we get closer and closer to the end, we'll start to see a divergence between the Fed funds rate and the mortgage-backed securities. We might even see a collapse of the spread between the 10-year treasury and the mortgage-backed securities. We've been watching that one. But every indicator we have shows that we're going to get into a recession. We're watching every one of them. So this week, we're going to get new application readings for November. We're going to get the Case-Shiller Home Price Index. One that I like best is the FHFA Home Price Index, because that actually is talking about conforming loan rates. Doesn't have as much influence based on the mix of what properties are being listed. And we've got a lot of reporting because Wednesday we've got the ADP jobs report. That's a biggie. I like that one the best because it actually looks at 25 million households. But the markets like to watch what happens on Friday with the BLS jobs report and the household survey. So we're going to also watch, again, like I said, the central banks. The Fed hikes 25 basis point on Wednesday, we believe, to a range of 3.5 to 3.75. Will they have reached their limit? Well, we're going to find out if they're at the top right there, or are they going to continue increasing in 25 basis point hikes? Maybe they'll tell us. We'll see. Other central banks are set to hike this week, with the European Central Bank and the Bank of England expected to hike 50 basis points each, but it's less likely they'll have reached their limit as they are behind the U.S. and started tightening well after we began. While the 25 basis point hike on Wednesday is almost a sure thing, Powell's comments will be key for the markets. It's likely he will continue to talk tough, especially with the jobs market seemingly strong. And obviously, we know that the jobs market is doing really, really well. I know a lot of people that have 2 jobs so that they can try and survive through some of these markets. I just throw that out there for you. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva, they've got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. So right now, I hear a lot of people talking about the idea of, should we be selling our house now? Should we wait until the spring selling season? What should we do? And the bottom line here is another one of those that, you have to rely on a professional, rely on somebody that really knows what they're talking about. You can go out there and find people all over the place that can list a house. It's not that difficult for somebody to list a house. The problem is do they know what they're doing? So you need somebody that really understands that. One of the questions, there's several questions I always would say you should be asking if somebody's going to list your house. What is their ratio of list price to sell price? What is their average DOM? If they don't know these answers, you might want to question as to, do they really have a good handle on the marketplace? Are we in a buyer's market or a seller's market? Now, I was looking at an area out in the South Bay this morning when I got the weekly reports, because we do get these reports every Monday morning. And I was just looking at a South Bay area this morning, and it shows that the price per square foot, the listing price per square foot, actually rose last week by just a little bit. It didn't go, not a lot, but it did rise by a little bit. And the market action index, as reported by Altos Research, that one got better or stronger for the seller's side by a little bit last week also. Inventory of 12 homes. So if you've only got 12 homes available for sale, well, something, anybody that wants to live there is going to have to get involved at those price points. So, you don't have a lot of choices. So the question then becomes, if you want to sell, you got to price your home properly. So let's chat about that. Last year, the housing market slowed down in response to higher mortgage rates, and that had an impact on home prices. If you're thinking of selling your house soon, that means you'll want to adjust your expectations accordingly. As Realtor.com explains, quote, some of the more prominent pandemic trends have changed, so sellers might wish to adjust accordingly to get the best deal possible, unquote. In a more moderate market, how you price your house will make a big difference to not only your bottom line, but how quickly your house could sell. And the reality is, homes priced right are still selling in today's market. Why pricing your house appropriately matters, especially today. Your asking price sends a message to potential buyers. If it's priced too low, you may leave money on the table or discourage buyers who may see a lower than expected price tag and wonder if that means something is wrong with the home. If it's priced too high, you run the risk of deterring buyers. When that happens, you may have to lower the price to try and reignite interest in your house when it sits on the market for a while. But be aware that a price drop can be seen as a red flag by some buyers who will wonder what that means about the home. To avoid either headache, price it right from the start. A real estate professional knows how to determine that ideal asking price. They balance the value of homes in your neighborhood, current market trends, buyer demand, the condition of your house, and more to find the right price. This helps lead to stronger offers and a greater likelihood your house will sell quickly. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed, you're actually going to see a visual that's going to help summarize the impact of pricing and the marketplace. Underpriced loses value, decreased future buying power, deters skeptical buyers. If it's at market value, attracts more buyers, higher sale price, faster sale. If it's overpriced, it sits on the market longer. Price drops can send the wrong message to buyers. Prices out potential buyers. So if it's a property you think is going to sell at $1.8 million and you price it at $2 million, well, anybody under $2 million is not going to see it when they go and do the searches. I'm going to suggest take a look, rsrsalesmax.com, rsrsalesmax.com. Take a look at that. See what the actual pricing or the best way to price a property is. rsrsalesmax.com is a great source for that. And you have any friends, family, or coworkers looking to buy, sell, or borrow on real estate? Can we count on you to introduce them to us? We've got a team of real estate professionals that we work with all over Southern California, all over, right? So we've got anywhere in the sound of my voice. In fact, we're just our friends over at Realty Pro. They're just opening an office in Westlake Village, I think it is, somewhere in that area. So you go basically from Ventura all the way to San Bernardino, Riverside, San Diego. So we've got agents in every one of these areas. That's the Real-Time Real Estate segment. Again, brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. When we come back, let's see, we're going to get into applying for a mortgage. Here's what you should avoid once you do. Pre-approval in 2023, what you need to know, and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference in the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you could retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at RonIsMyLender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. RonIsMyLender.com.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is, you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit ronsiegelradio.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. Applying for a mortgage. Here's what you should avoid once you do. And we might even give you some tricks and tips on what you should do once you are applying for a mortgage. Well, let's get into the report and we'll see where we go from there. And we'll have a little chat, you and me. So let's take a look at it. While it's exciting to start thinking about moving in and decorating, After you applied for your mortgage, there are some key things to keep in mind before you close. Here's a list of things you may not realize you need to avoid after applying for your home loan. Maybe I'll give you the things that you should do, and then we'll get into the things to avoid. Visit optoutprescreen.com, optoutprescreen.com. Unless you like getting unsolicited phone calls and lots of junk mail and credit card offers and all these other garbage things, optoutprescreen.com tells the credit bureaus they're not supposed to be selling your information. And you can go in there and put it and log in for a 5-year term. Optoutprescreen.com. No spaces in there. Optoutprescreen.com. I also highly recommend you always get on the do not call list. That's another good one right there as well. Don't deposit large sums of cash. Lenders need to source your money, and cash is not easily traceable. Before you deposit any amount of cash into your accounts, discuss the proper way to document your transactions with your loan officer. Don't make any large purchases. It's not just home-related purchases that could disqualify you from your loan. Any large purchases can be red flags for lenders. People with new debt have higher debt-to-income ratios. How much debt you have compared to your monthly income, that's the debt-to-income ratio. Since higher ratios make for riskier loans, borrowers may no longer qualify for their mortgage. Resist the temptation to make any large purchases, even for furniture or appliances. Actually, I had a family that bought a motor home and a new Mercedes while they were in contract, and they were surprised, even though we told them don't do that. They were surprised when they're at the end of the process, the underwriters are going to go and do what's called a pre-closing credit report, and they will find out. And they no longer qualified. We had to jump through all kinds of hurdles to get that done for them. No large purchases. Don't co-sign for loans for anyone. When you co-sign for a loan, you're making yourself accountable for that loan's success and repayment. With that obligation comes higher debt-to-income ratios as well. Even if you promise you won't be the one making the payments, your lender will have to count the payments against you. Do not switch bank accounts. Lenders need to source and track your assets. That task is much easier when there's consistency among your accounts. Before you transfer any money, speak with your loan officer. Don't apply for new credit. It doesn't matter whether it's a new credit card or a new car. When you have your credit report run by organizations in multiple financial channels, that'll be mortgages a channel, credit cards a channel, autos a channel, it will have an impact on your FICO score. Lower credit scores can determine your interest rate and possibly even your eligibility for approval. Do not close any accounts. Many buyers believe having less available credit makes them less risky and more likely to be approved. This is not always true. A major component of your score is your length and depth of credit history, as opposed to just your payment history, and your total usage of credit as a percentage of available credit. Closing accounts can have a negative impact on both of those aspects of your score. There are some hacks in there that we can share with you that we understand and we can look at and see if they apply to you. Do discuss changes with your lender. Be upfront about any changes that occur on your existing or you're expecting to occur when talking with your lender. Blips in income, assets, or credit should be reviewed and executed in a way that ensures your home loan can still be approved. If your job or employment status has changed recently, share that with your lender as well. Ultimately, it's best to fully disclose and discuss your intentions with your loan officer before you do anything financial in nature. Bottom line, if you want your home purchase to go as smoothly as possible, remember, before you make any large purchases, move your money around, or make major life changes, be sure to consult your lender, someone who's qualified to explain how your financial decisions may impact your home loan. And if you have any friends, family, or coworkers looking to borrow for real estate, can we count on you to introduce them to us? That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. Mortgage Minute. Let's get a Mortgage Minute in here. Pre-approval in 2023. What you need to know. An extra Mortgage Minute. Am I out of? Oh, I'm out of time. Am I out of time, Josh? No, I'm not out of time. Okay, I'm just. I love hand signals. I can almost see Josh in the background there, so it's kind of fun how we're dealing with this. But hey, let's take a look at the pre-approval in 2023. What you need to know. Mortgage 101. You're right, Josh. That's right. Mortgage 101. Brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report and it's wrong. I'm glad Josh is here to keep me on the straight and narrow. Mortgage 101. Pre-approval in 2023. What you need to know. Let's see if I can find the report now that Josh figured out who our sponsor is for this one. Pre-approval in 2023. What you need to know. One of the first steps in your home buying journey is getting pre-approved. To understand why it's such an important step, you need to understand what pre-approval is and what it does for you. Business Insider explains, in a pre-approval, the lender tells you which type of loans you may be eligible to take out, how much you may be approved to borrow, and what your rate could be. Basically, pre-approval gives you critical information about the home buying process that will help you understand your options and what you may be able to borrow. How does it work? As part of the pre-approval process, a lender will look at your finances to determine what they'd be willing to loan you. From there, your lender will give you a pre-approval letter to help you understand how much money you can borrow. That can make it easier when you set out to search for homes because you'll know your overall numbers, and with higher mortgage rates impacting affordability for many buyers today, a solid understanding of your numbers is even more important. And you may want to take a look, RSR rate guide. RSR rate guide. I think that, Josh, is that what we called it, RSR rate guide? That tells us we did a guide to show you exactly how you can bring the interest rates down. And there's temporary guides and there's short-term guides. I don't know if it's RSR rate guide or RSR buy down. Let me see if I can find it over here. RSRbuydown.com. RSRbuydown.com is the name of it. So you can go to RSRbuydown.com and take a look. There's like 5 different ways you can actually reduce your mortgage payment. Only two of them will help you qualify for a will help you qualify for a loan and increase the amount that you qualify for. RSRbuydown.com. RSRbuydown.com. I'm a little slow today. It's Monday, isn't it? I think it's Monday. I'm not sure. Okay. And I got a frog here somewhere. Pre-approval helps show you're a serious buyer. Another added benefit is pre-approval can help a seller feel more confident in your offer because it shows you're serious about buying their home. A recent article from Forbes notes, quote, from the seller's perspective, a pre-approval letter from a reputable local lender often can make the difference between accepting and rejecting an offer, unquote. This goes to show, even though you may not face the intense bidding wars that you saw if you tried to buy during the pandemic, pre-approval is still an important part of making a strong offer. In fact, Christy Bieber, a personal finance writer at The Motley Fool, explains it may be the most important part of making an offer. Pre-approval maximizes the chance you'll be able to actually close the deal, and sellers want to see that. The fact that a pre-approval gives you a better chance of getting your offer accepted is undoubtedly the most important reason to complete this step, unquote. And again, if you're looking to buy, RSRHBG.com, RSRHBG.com. That's our home buyer's guide. We come out with it every quarter. We update it every single quarter, RSRHBG.com. And if you have any friends, family, or coworkers looking to buy, sell, or borrow on real estate, can we count on you to introduce them to us? Just give them a call. Give them our number, 800-306-1990. Easiest way for everybody. Just start a text thread with us, yourself, and them, and you put everybody on the same thread, and it makes things really, really simple. That is the Mortgage 101 brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It's wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer has the solutions for you. When we come back, assuming responsibility for the marital mortgage. We'll talk about it, why it makes sense to move before spring, and more. You can reach me anytime off your number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at RonIsMyLender.com. That's RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey friends, do you dream of mortgage-free home ownership? Are you aware that even if you own your home free and clear, it could still be costing you thousands per year? The Siegel Lending Team can help you generate tax-free income, accumulate family wealth, and maintain ownership of your home. By simply emailing your most recent mortgage statement, you'll receive a no-obligation real estate plan. Learn more by calling 1-800-306-1990 or email me your recent mortgage statement to PEAR@RonSiegelRadio.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at RonSiegelRadio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you could retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit RSRNoDebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit RSRNoDebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, RSRNoDebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. RSRNoDebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to RSRNoDebt.com. RSRNoDebt.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Better Outcome segment today being brought to you by MyCDLP.com. MyCDLP.com. Hey, you know something? If you're thinking of divorce, and I know it's divorce season, unfortunately, but if you've got real property, go to mydymworkbook.com, mydymworkbook.com. Just updated this workbook, mydymworkbook.com. And it's going to help you organize real property and figure out how it all fits into the divorce process. Big time. It's a big, big benefit for, we share it with a lot of attorneys, and then we also get some divorcing couples that go through it as well. Assuming responsibility for the marital mortgage. Can I assume the existing mortgage after the divorce is final? You may assume legal responsibility for making the mortgage payment as a legal exempt transfer of the mortgage or seek a qualified assumption. Okay, So we all know that mortgage interest rates have gone up significantly since the beginning of 2022. And that is probably one of the main driving factors for the interest in loan assumptions for divorcing homeowners. January 2022 started with the average 30-year fixed mortgage rate just around 3.25%. Mid-January, we started on the increase and rounded out 2022 with an overall average 30-year fixed rate of about 5.26. As of January 12th, 2023, the average 30-year fixed rate was at 6.33, almost double this time last year. What exactly is the effect of rising mortgage rates on the mortgage payment? Take an existing mortgage loan amount of $300,000, 30-year fixed rate at 3.25, principal and interest payment $1,306. 30-year fixed rate at 6.33, principal and interest payment of $1,863. That's a payment shock of $557. I have found when working with divorcing homeowners that their primary concern in divorce may not necessarily be the interest rate, but rather cash flow, given a significant amount of their household income may be gone. So obviously a payment shock like this is going to be very disheartening. What is a loan assumption? An assumption mortgage, assumable mortgage, is a type of mortgage loan that can be transferred by a seller and assumed by the purchaser of the parcel of property to which the mortgage is attached. When this occurs, the purchaser will become responsible for paying off the remaining balance of the mortgage loan. The act of assuming the terms of the mortgage is known as mortgage assumption. Two types of loan assumptions: legal transfer assumption or simple assumption. You assume legal responsibility for paying a mortgage. The original mortgagee is now in a secondary position to pay off the loan, similar to a cosigner. Qualified assumption by novation. You assume responsibility for both the payments and the terms of the mortgage loan. A full release of liability from the original mortgagee may be obtained. Note, if you're going to need to do an equity buyout of the vacating spouse's ownership equity, you will not be able to access any equity in the loan if seeking a loan assumption. You would need to equalize the equity elsewhere on the marital balance sheet. Is your loan assumable? It depends on the type loan and whether or not the current lender and documents will allow for assumption. The answer to this question lies within the mortgage instruments, either the mortgage note or the deed of trust. Within the documents, you will find what is called the alienation clause, also known as the acceleration or due on sale clause. The typical verbiage is as such, quote, if all or any part of the property or any interest in the property is sold or transferred without lender's prior written consent, the lender may require immediate payment in full of all sums secured by this security instrument. However, lender will not exercise this option if such exercise is prohibited by applicable law, unquote. What is a legal transfer assumption, making the transfer exempt from the alienation clause? A lender cannot accelerate the due on sale clause if the transfer of property is an exempt transfer, as in death or divorce. An exempt transfer, such as in divorce, however, does not release the original mortgagee from their legal liability to the existing lender should payment not be made. To find out more about legal transfer assumption as well as qualified assumption, where there is a true release of liability, please check out our webinars on loan assumptions incident to divorce. And if you don't have that, we can give you a link to it. Just call us 800-306-1990 or send us a text or an email, rj@ronsiegelradio.com, rj@ronsiegelradio.com. If you are a divorce professional and would like to discuss integrating divorce mortgage planning into your practice, again, give us a call, 800-306-1990. We are certified divorce lending professionals. Background knowledge of each team member brings different perspectives and better solutions. So having a certified divorce lending professional as part of the team is a big benefit to you. And I should just bring up that even though we give this information all the time, we are not giving legal advice. We are not giving tax advice. We just understand the intersection of where mortgage lending, real estate, family law, and tax kind of intersect. And we might be able to offer some questions in that whole process. Not answers, but more often we can give out the questions. That is the Better Outcome segment brought to you by mycdlp.com. Mycdlp.com. Don't forget the free copy of the Divorce Your Mortgage Workbook, mydymworkbook.com, mydymworkbook.com. So before we run out of here today, I did want to get you a little bit why it makes sense to move before spring. That's a real-time real estate segment brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. Why it makes sense to move before the spring season. Spring is usually the busiest season in the housing market. Many buyers wait until then to make their move, believing it's the best time to find a home. However, that is not always the case when you factor in the competition you could face with other buyers at that time of year. If you're ready to buy a home, here's why it makes sense to move before the spring market kicks in. Spring should bring a wave of buyers to the market. In most years, the housing market goes through predictable seasonal trends and activity. Winter is typically a quiet point in the year, while spring sees a surge of buyers begin their search, and experts project that this year will be no exception. Right now, buyer demand is low due to a combination of normal seasonal trends and a reaction to last year's rise in mortgage rates. But rates have started to come down since last November, which has more and more potential buyers planning to jump into the market. That means right now is a sweet spot if you're in a good position to buy before more buyers reappear. Affordability is beginning to improve, but demand is still low for now. Lawrence Yun, chief economist at the National Association of Realtors, NAR, shares, quote, expect sales to pick up again soon since mortgage rates have markedly declined after peaking late last year, unquote. If you're ready to buy a home right now is the best time to do so before your competition grows and more buyers enter the market. Today's sellers are motivated. Low demand from buyers often means sellers are more motivated to work with you. And that can set you up to buy a home on your terms. In fact, sellers have been more willing to negotiate this winter because there are fewer buyers in the market. According to a recent article from Forbes, sellers gave concession to buyers in 41.9% of home sales in the fourth quarter of last year. But keep in mind, the advantages buyers have this winter will not last forever. The competition you face could be greater if you wait until spring to make a move, and increased buyer demand means sellers will have less motivation to negotiate with you. Be sure to work with a trusted real estate professional to learn what you can expect in your local market right now. If you're in a good position to make a move, it may make sense to move before spring. Working with your team of expert real estate advisors is the best way to learn about the current market and what it means for you. And again, let's just connect, let's chat, let's set up a game plan. And if you have any friends, family, or coworkers who look to buy, sell, or borrow on real estate, can we count on you for that introduction? That is, again, the real-time real estate segment brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. And as always, we ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We will talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.